Okay, oh God, you guys look so far away. Right, okay, so hi guys. I said I'll do a short little yoga sequence for pelvic girdle pain or pain within the pelvis. So here it is. Okay, so before we start, we might need to use a few props, but don't worry if you don't have any yoga props with you. We can always adapt with other household items. So these are yoga bricks, and you can also use 2 books that are probably similar width, and make sure if they are books they're quite heavy duty, because if you want to put your weight down, the books obviously won't come up and it collapse, and it's not too dangerous. A yoga block to place underneath your hips for any seated poses, or you don't have to use a yoga block, you can also use a folded up blanket. So if you have a blanket, grab one of those as well. And lastly, a strap. So you can either use a belt, you can use a pair of tights. One of my students used a pair of leggings once and it was absolutely fine. So if you do have any straps or anything that you can use in its place, grab one of those as well. Okay, so we'll get started. So with pelvic girdle pain, we want to try and keep a neutral stance in the pelvis. So we want to try and keep everything tucked up, nice and neat, and our glutes engaged, our lower back strengthened, and our core stabilised. Obviously, the further along you are in pregnancy, the more weight you'll have at the front of your body, and the more anterior tilt you have in your pelvis. So your pelvis tends to kind of tilt forward. So I have quite a deep anterior tilt. So it's all about trying to maintain the integrity between your stomach muscles and your back muscles. So it's just a constant awareness of dropping your tailbone down, drawing the navel towards the spine, and giving your chest more space to elevate and breathe, of course. So we'll start. Usually we start with our legs in a comfortable seated position for yoga, but this is a lot of external rotation in the hips. So with pelvic girdle pain, this rotation within your hips might cause you more pain. So if it feels okay to sit here, then actually don't sit here. We won't. We'll just start on our knees. We'll start on our knees and bring your knees close together, and to make it a little bit more comfortable, we just place a blanket underneath our the backs of our legs and just sit back. So this should be nice and comfortable to sit on. So we'll start here. I'll change position. Good. So just set yourself up, feel the sit bones grounded, roll the shoulders back, place the backs of the hands onto the knees, have the palms open. So we're inviting strength, courage, groundedness in towards our center, and then just close the eyes here. Just take a few moments to ground yourself. Take a few moments to arrive on the mat. And don't worry about the breath, just allow the breath to flow in naturally and allow the breath to flow out naturally. And just starting to feel a sense of calmness and ease throughout the body, a sense of groundedness. And just remember, at any point of the practice, if you need to change positions or move, then please feel free to do so. So this is your practice. So it doesn't matter what I say or what positions I tell you to get in. If they don't feel right for you or your body, then don't do it. If you feel any niggle within the body, anything doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Only you know your body. Good. Trust your intuition, trust your gut instincts of whatever's going on within your body. Just be aware of it. Good. Let's see if we can start to deepen the breath. See if you can start to deepen that inhale as you feel the rib cage expanding up and out. And on the exhale, the softening of the rib cage down. Good. Taking a few more deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. If it feels uncomfortable to breathe out through the nose, then you can breathe out slightly with the lips apart through the mouth. See if you can align your head over your heart and the head and heart over the pelvis. So a lovely straight spine. The shoulders are soft, the crown of the head is pointing up, and the chin is slightly tucked in. Taking our right hand towards our baby, our left hand towards our heart center. And just taking a few more gentle breaths here. So deep inhalations and deep exhalations. And as you start to breathe deeper, see if you can count your breaths. So see if you can count to 4 on the inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Good. Keep breathing in nice and long, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling, 2, 3, 4. We're trying to match the in-breath and the out-breath. So samavriti, equal breathing. We find as soon as we soften the breath, as soon as we match both inhale with our exhale, it gives us a deeper sense of calmness throughout the body, calms the nervous system, and grounds us. Good, and setting our intentions to our practice today, or you can dedicate your practice to someone or something. Good, and just bringing the awareness back into the room, start to slowly open the eyes. Good, and have the hands back placed onto your knees. So sorry about my animals, our little fur babies will come in and out of shot probably throughout the whole of this practice. Good, so drawing the arms forward first. So as we draw the arms forward, we're not drawing the shoulders or arching into the back, we're lifting the chest, the shoulders are soft, the arms are nice and forward. Good, just a nice deep stretch here. Draw the navel in, so you can tuck that tailbone. And then inhale, slightly lift up out through the pelvis. Draw the arms up, and as you exhale, the right fingertips come down, and then just lean over towards the left-hand side. Keep the head neutral, you can look down if you need to. Good, inhaling, come all the way up. Lift up, out through the pelvis, exhale, left fingertips down, right arm over towards the left. So we're going to feel a nice lateral stretch on the right side of the body. One more time either side, inhaling, both arms up. Exhaling. Good, inhaling, arms up, and exhale, left side. Inhaling, arms up, draw the arms forward, good, palms facing down, and then just start to flick through the fingertips. Good. Just bringing some awareness into the arms, into the forearms. Hopefully your legs still feel okay. If they feel a bit uncomfortable, we can come up onto our knees, wiggle your toes, and just give your legs a little bit of a break before you sit back down. Good, so stretching into the forearm now. So palm face up, take hold of the fingers with your left hand, and then just pull the fingers back. Good, shoulders stay nice and relaxed, draw the navel in. Good, exhale, release, and over towards the left-hand side. So take all of the left fingers with your right hand and pull the fingers back towards your elbow. Good, give your hands a good shake out. Left elbow on top of right. See if you can just start to fold the hands in. You can take hold of the palms, the backs of the hands together, that's absolutely fine. Draw the fingertips up and the elbows away from you. You should feel a nice deep stretch within the upper back. Exhale, release, the arms a good shake out, and then over towards the opposite side. So right elbow on top of left, palms together or backs of hands together. Elbows push away from you, drop the shoulders and fingertips up towards the sky. Good, exhale, release. Arms forward, interlace the fingers, outwardly rotate the palms. And as you inhale, keep the shoulder blades nice and neutral and just push the palms up towards the sky. So be mindful we don't arch into the back. Again, tailbone descends down, navel draws in, shoulders dropped. And we're just reaching up with the palms. The head is nice and neutral, there's no tension in our necks. Good, this time as we exhale, we draw the navel in, the chin comes towards the chest, the palms of the hands push away from you. And as you inhale, the heart space opens, your shoulder blades squeeze together and you look up towards the sky. Good, again, exhale, chin towards your chest, rounding into the back, push the palms away. And then inhale, arching through the back, shoulder blades together, look up. Good, 2 more times. Exhaling, flexion and extension through the spine. Inhaling. Exhale, push away, navel in. And inhale, open that heart space. Good, and exhale, fingertips down. Wonderful, so coming onto all fours now. So coming up onto your knees, palms down, and then we can move the blanket or whatever you're sitting on. So again, shoulders over wrists. So this is too much tension on your knees, and you can bring your blanket, open up the blanket, and then you can rest your knees on top. This might help. Just give you some extra padding underneath your knees. So again, generally we want the hips above the knees, the backs of the feet pressing into the ground, and then the hands nice and flat, shoulders above the wrists. So if you have any tension within your wrist, you can always come onto monkey fist. Just make sure you don't have any rings on. So it's just a fist-like shape onto the floor, and this again helps tension within your arms and your wrists. If it feels okay, the hands spread out nice and firmly. So your hands become your feet, really rooted in towards the ground, the palms pressing in. And then generally you'd like the first finger to point up towards the front of your mat. Good, so cat-cow here. Again, as we exhale, we draw the navel in, we tuck the tailbone under, the chin comes in towards the chest, keep the shoulder blades broad. And as you inhale, drop the navel, tailbone comes up, shoulders back, and look up. Good, exhaling. And inhaling. So soft, steady breaths. Use your own breath, your own rhythm. Flexion and extension again through the spine, but in an all fours position. Good. So we just want to maintain a nice fluid practice. Bringing calmness, inviting calmness in, groundedness in, steadiness and ease. Good. Just a few more breaths. One more. Good, and then rotate the fingertips so the fingers point towards the side of the mat, the wrists point towards each other. And then as we exhale, just gentle circular motions forward and back. Good, bring the weight forward, round through the wrists. So we're just warming up the wrists. So again here, try not to dip down. So as you can see, I'm dipping into my shoulders. We don't want that. We really want to lift up and out through the shoulders. Create as much strength in our arms and space within our upper body. Good. Rotate the opposite side. So these are really good movements for when baby arrives and we're holding baby all day. Just releases a lot of tension in the shoulders. So we're constantly drawing the shoulders down our backs. Good. Last one, if it feels comfortable, fingertips point towards the knees, the palms point away from you. So either stay here, or if it feels okay, then just tuck the pelvis slightly, and then as you exhale, just sit back towards your heels. Keep the palms pressing in towards the mat. So you should feel a lovely deep stretch in the forearms. The head is nice and relaxed. Inhaling, coming back forward. And again, exhaling, navel in, tailbone tucked slightly, push back towards your heels. So do this 2 more times. Good, inhaling. And then exhale. Good, nice counter stretch. Just roll over to the top of your palm and then press the palms down, elbows bent, and then we can just bring our fingers and thumbs together in like a pumping motion. Good. Wonderful. Hands back towards the mat, fingertips nice and spread. This time I want you to bring the knees together, the thighs together, the ankles together. So this is good for pelvic girdle pain. Start to strengthen in towards the pelvis. So I really want you to squeeze the glutes together, squeeze your thighs and your shins together. And as you exhale, just slight skiing motion. So we just lean over towards the right hand side. Inhale back to center. Again, lift up, out through the chest, and then exhale. Over towards the left, sorry. Good. So again, we're breathing in to center, exhale to the sides. So again, use your own breath, your own rhythm. So it might not be big movements to the left or right, it's absolutely fine, but you should feel a lovely stretch towards the outside of the hips. So you can keep squeezing the glutes together, squeeze the thighs together, as we start to build a little strength in and around the hips and the pelvis. Good, just a few more times here. And back to centre. Good, and coming back, knees hip width distance apart. And as you exhale, we just want to draw the right hip towards the right hand side. We look over our right shoulder towards our hip, and then exhale back to centre. Good. Left hand side, inhaling, draw the left hip towards the left shoulder, look over your left shoulder towards your hip, and back to centre. So again, these are only slight movements, but they really work wonders in your hips. So again, listening to the body throughout the practice. How does it feel? Does it feel good? Does it feel not so good? Wonderful. And then bringing some strength into the arms as we inhale, press through the left hand, and then we start to draw the right hand forward. Draw the navel in, tailbone descends down. Good. Inhale, hands to center, open nice and wide. And we come into a thread the needle. So we bend the right elbow, we drop the right shoulder and ear towards the ground. So we come into a nice little twist. Good, inhaling back to center, right hand down. And then inhaling left arm forward. Navel in, so strong through the arms. Navel in towards the spine. Good, left fingertips down. Inhale, open up through the chest. Bending into the elbows. Left elbow underneath the right arm, the left ear towards the ground. Good. And then inhale, back to center. Lovely. And then just nice circular motions again through the wrist. Good. So again, working with the breath and your motion. How does this feel within the body? So you don't have to go one way, you can go different ways. You don't even have to do full circles. You can do like figure of eights with the body. So see how fluid you feel. And as you progress through your pregnancy, different things will feel different at different times. I've had to adjust my practice so many times throughout the pregnancy. What felt good maybe within the first week, felt different in the second, third week, different trimesters, different poses. So it's all about adjusting. So don't take any pose as literal. Don't take anything as that is what it should be like. You just play around with it. And just see what works within your body. Good, we just want to create nice fluid motions throughout the body. And nice fluid breath, so soft, steady and still all times. Good, so we bring the toes together. So just keep the knees a little bit wider than the hip width, only if it feels good. And then just sit back towards your heels, so child's pose. So if this feels okay and you're all right with your bump, you can put the forehead down towards the ground with the arms nice and wide. Or you can make, stack your fists on top of each other and then bring your head down. But we're trying to bring the sit bones back towards the heels. Good, so you might not be that long, you might be longer. It just depends where you're at with your pregnancy and how much space you have. And how it feels in your hips. Yeah, so just a few restful poses here, restful breaths in this pose. And again, throughout your pregnancy or your labour, if you're feeling like you just want to shut off from the world, this is a great pose. So you just basically just come into your own little circle, your own bubble, close your eyes and just forget about anything else. It's just you and your baby. Soft and steady breaths. Good, and then inhaling, bring the arms forward, come back into our tabletop position. So you might want to move the blanket out of the way. Good. Okay, so from here we want to bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand. So again, be mindful through the hips and how this feels within your body. Draw the navel in, so slightly engaging the glute as you step the right foot forward. Good. So again, we're hugging everything in towards our body and just staying here. The chest lifts forward and then just rock forwards and back. So again, nice inhalation to come forward and exhale back. Good. And depends on how this feels, you can start to make nice circular motions through the hips. Good. So again, work with how this feels within your body. And then you can rotate in the opposite direction. Excuse me, that was my knee. Wonderful, just move forward so you can see the next pose. Good, and then coming back into the neutral as we come forward. As we come back, start to peel the leg off the floor, straighten into the leg. If it feels good on your hamstrings, good. Inhale forward. Exhale, peel the leg off, good. Inhale forward. And if it feels good, you might want to bring your sit bone towards your heel. Yeah. So come deeper in towards the pose. Just whatever works for you. And then from here, we just want to bring our right elbow on towards our right knee. Inhale, come up. So we want to maintain that firm groundedness through the right foot, right elbow down, and then inhale, left arm comes up. So lovely circle motions through the left hand. So again, the gaze is entirely up to you. You can follow the hand around the room. As you rotate, you can keep the gaze towards the ground. You can look up. Just as long as there's no tension within the neck. Good. Take it in the opposite side. So create as much space through the heart. Open up through the shoulders. Good. Exhale, come onto your fingertips. Okay, so from here we want to draw the left heel in towards our sit bone, and then we want to sit onto our left heel. Good, so this is a goddess pose variation, and then bring the right foot in. Okay, so hopefully this feels okay. Again, the left hip is in quite a neutral position, and so is the right hip. If this feels uncomfortable for you, you can try and sit on a prop just to give you a bit more space. But some people like to sit their sit bones onto the floor, but just be mindful if you do have a lot of pain in your pelvis, because if you sit back onto your hips, and that externally rotates your left hip. So just be mindful of the pose. If you can sit onto your heel and it feels comfortable, then just remain here. Good, so the right elbow bends to the inside of the right knee. Excuse me, the chest lifts. And as the chest lifts, just drawing the left hand away from you. Good. Exhale, come forward, and inhale away. Good, exhale forward. Good, one more breath. Good, exhale, come forward, hands down, knees in, and then sending the right knee back. So come back into child's pose. So the toes together, the knees a little bit wider. Either stack the fists up or bring the whole hands down towards the ground. So how does this feel? And see if you can keep the tailbone tucked so you're not arching into the back. Creating more strength in towards the back. And just remain here for a few breaths. Sorry, I have a delivery at the door. So just give me a sec. Sorry, right back. So back to child's pose. The reality of life, hey. Good, so as you inhale, come back into our tabletop position. And then flexion, extension through the spine again. So good, as you breathe in, you lift the chest, tailbone tucks up. And as you exhale, round through the spine, push the earth away from you, navel in, tailbone tucks down. Good, 2 more breaths here. One more breath. Good, so again, weights in towards our right hand. We want to bring the left foot to the outside of the left hand. So just draw the left foot forward. Good, hands flat. And then just start to rock back and forth slowly. Again, focusing back onto the breath. So how smooth and how calm can you make the breath? How smooth, how calm can you make the poses? Good. And then always notice that one side feels different to the other side. That's totally okay. Depends what side you're dominant in, what side you're not. And it's absolutely fine. There's no right or wrong way with any poses, with anything in life. Good, if it feels good, you can go a little bit deeper towards the back of the right heel, start to peel the left foot off the floor. Good, inhale back forward. So again, working through the hamstrings now, the left leg. And then see how it feels if you want to make a few hip circles here. And again, you can work with the variations of your left foot. You can go wider if it feels good. Although with pelvic girdle pain, it probably will feel better not to be as wide, but if you feel that it feels okay, then go for it. You can bring the leg back a little bit more. Just depends entirely on your body and how it feels on the day. Any areas of tension, any impingement, any sharp pain, then that's clearly a sign your body does not like the pose. And again, it doesn't have to be hip circles, it could be figures of 8, it could be any wobbly pose you want to, swaying you want to go into, it's fine, absolutely fine. Just maintain that fluidity throughout the body. And these are also great positions for labour. Good, so bringing the left elbow on towards the left knee. So again, find that sense of groundedness. And then inhale, we're opening up through the heart space with the right hand. Good, so we can do deep circular motions through the shoulders. We can follow the hands with our eyes, we can gaze down, we can look up. We can take different movements through the arms. Come back, come forward. Whatever you want, whatever works for you, whatever feels good within your body. Good, just a few more rotations, just a few more breaths. So again, just working into loosening up the shoulders and opening through the heart space. Good. Exhaling, come forward. So again, we want to sit onto our right heel and then bring the left foot in. Good. Chest lifts. Left elbow to the inside of the left knee. And then inhale, right arm opens up. Good. And then exhale. So again, whatever motion feels good. So in pregnancy, we have a lot of relaxing in our body. So it gives us a little bit more flexibility. And we don't want to remain rigid in poses, because that just puts strain on the body unnecessarily. So we just want to keep that movement going. So that's why we have lots of flay arm movements and not too much static poses. And this also just helps to bring more blood in towards the body, to circulate around And also loosens up those shoulders, that heart space. Good. Exhale, come down, back into child's pose, so toes together. And knees a little bit wide, sit bones back, and forehead towards your palms. And even here, if you want to sway from side to side, then feel free, whatever works for you, whatever works for your body. Just being gentle on yourself, on your body, and remaining calm throughout your practice. So again, breath is essential, nice and calm. Good, so we'll come into our standing poses now. So a nice little transition here is to bring the hands forward, palms flat, tuck the toes. So again, we want to try and keep the hips as neutral as possible. Again, if this is too painful, it doesn't work for you, just come up in any way that helps you, or whatever way that you're used to coming up. But we can just exhale, rock the knees up, and inhale, come forward. Good, exhale, rock up, inhale, come back forward. Just a few times, get the pelvis moving. Good, and then bring the heels back, press up through the thighs, keep the knees nice and bent. Good, the head hangs down, and then slowly start to walk your hands up your thighs, roll up through the spine. Oh, as we come into our standing pose, great. Feels nice and good to come up. Good, so feet hip width distance apart. So again, the legs are nice and grounded. So really feel the weight through the heels. So again, tailbone tucks under, navel draws in towards your spine, hands by your side body. Just close the eyes here and just bring awareness to the body, to the breath. So how does it feel here? Do you want to move around? Do you want to stay static? What works? You can make circular motions through the hips here. Go around one way, go around the other way. You can make figure of 8 movements. Just really allowing the body to move whatever way it wants to. And remember, your eyes are closed, nobody can see you. And you can't see anyone, so it's absolutely fine. Just have fun with it. Just let the hips relax. If you want to bend the knees ever so slightly, bend the knees. And good, yeah. Just find that rhythm within your body. So it's like your water, like you're in your baby. You're like water with your baby. You know, nice and fluid, nice and relaxed. And just enjoying it, enjoying the moment. So your baby's having a lovely time in there. You can put your hands to your tummy. And just really feel that connectedness. Good. And just take a moment, just reminding yourself of your intentions. Just honouring this amazing body. Just reminding yourself how incredible you are to be creating this life form within you. And just smile, just enjoy it. Enjoy every single moment. Be in the present, be here now, and just soak it all in. You're doing absolutely amazing, and you are amazing. Just enjoy every single moment. Good, and then see if you can start to bring those movements back to a slower pace. Just let your body naturally come to stillness. So it takes a little bit more time, it takes a bit more time. Bring the hands down by the side body, relax the shoulders back. Nice deep breaths. So if you need to sigh the breaths out, sigh the breath out. And then slowly coming back into stillness. Just feeling the body oscillating, so feeling the body is moving ever so slightly, so we're never completely still. Our bodies are always continuously moving, continuously oscillating through the entire physical being. So just take note, how does it feel? How are you feeling? Good. And then start to bring the awareness back into the room, eyes open, lovely. Good, then drawing the arms up, so a nice long stretch, navel in. Good, taking hold of the right wrist of the left hand. Inhale, lift up through the palms. And as you exhale, lean over towards the left hand side. So the shoulders are in line with the ears. So it's a lovely lateral stretch towards the right side. Good, inhale back to center. Keep lifting up through the shoulders and then exhale over towards the right hand side. Good, inhaling back to center. Good, release the palms and exhale, come down. Good, hands to heart, inhale, palms up. And then exhale, take hold of the left hand with the right wrist, pull the left wrist up, shoulders relax, and then exhale, lean towards the right hand side. Inhaling back to center, push up, shoulders soft. There's a slight bend in your knees as you lean over towards the left hand side. Inhaling back to center, release the hands and exhale. Good. I forgot to mention, we try not to lock into the joints of the legs, so this restricts movement. We want to keep everything nice and fluid, and then this gives us fluidity throughout our joints. So if we lock the joints below, the joints above will start locking, and everything will feel more stiffer. So it's just constant fluidity throughout our practice. Good, so the knees are nice and soft. As you inhale, the arms come up. On the exhalation, it's a twist through the thoracic spine, the upper body. The knees are bent, so the right hand comes back, the left hand comes forward, look over your right shoulder. Good, inhale, both arms up, straighten into the legs. And then exhale as you bend into the legs, right arm forward, left hand back. Good, so just bring in some movement in towards the arms, opening through the chest, the heart space. And just work with your breath. Good, navel in. Really reach through the arms, inhaling. Exhaling. So again, feel free to sigh the breath out. Feel free to use your voice. So if you want to make voices, sounds even, then just go for it. Really use your voice. Don't be afraid to use it. Because I guarantee you in labour, or this is just me, you need your voice. Your voice is there to ground you, your voice is there to give you calmness, and it's there just to remind you everything's okay. Don't hold it in, just let it out. Don't worry who's watching, it's fine. Create your own space. You're in control. You are the goddess of your ship, and you can do whatever you want to do, and you've got everything you ever need to birth your baby. Good. So just one more on either side. And then inhale, arms up, hands together, and exhale, hands back into your heart space. Good, drop the shoulders, close the eyes. You can sway a little bit from side to side. And then come back into your sense of groundedness, into your sense of calmness. Slowing the breath down. Good, opening the eyes and exhale, releasing your hands down. So here we'll need our props. So if you have any blocks or any books that are similar size, then bring them towards your mat. And then just place them down. Good. So here we just want to, so if you bring your feet towards the blocks or the bricks, you can see there, good. So the right foot stays grounded. As you inhale, the left foot steps back. Good, so as the left foot steps back, the left heel steps back, and there's just a slight external rotation through the left foot, but the hips still remain very neutral and square. So as you can see here, my hips are facing forward. So again, don't arch in your back. My body loves to arch, so it's a conscious effort to try and tuck that tailbone under. Good, the right leg is straight and the arms come forward. Good. So on the exhale, we want to slightly bend into the knee. Keep that rotation in the pelvis, so the tailbone descends down, bending into the knee, and then come forward, fingertips onto your brick. So wherever you want to bring them, good. And then as you exhale, you straighten into your leg. Inhale, bend into your knees, the chest comes forward, and then exhale, straighten into the leg. Good. So however this works for you, it depends how much space you have between your baby and your thigh. We don't want to squish baby. So just nice fluid movements. So the back of the leg is grounded at all times. Good. Good. 2 more breaths here. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. We're trying to extend the chest as far forward as we can. And the tailbone is engaged. Good, so bending into the right knee, lift the chest, inhale, press through the right foot as we come all the way up. Good, bending into the right knee and step the left foot forward. So again, inhale, we step the right leg back. So I'm not going too far back, I'm keeping everything nice and tucked in, nice and neutral. Slight rotation of the right foot just to get that better grounding space through the right heel. The hips are nice and neutral. Tailbone descends down, the chest lifts. And as you exhale, you push the left hip back as you roll the right thigh forward. And then you bring your hands onto your brick. Good. So then as you inhale, the leg, inhale, knee bends. And then as you exhale, straighten into the leg. Good. Inhaling, move forwards. And exhaling. So again, soft fluid movements through the body. So again, constantly thinking about rolling the right thigh in and sending that left hip back. And again, there's two ways to do this. If it's too uncomfortable for you to go all the way forward, you can always bring your arms forward and then exhale back. Yes, this is a warrior variation. Good. And then move the bricks out the way. Inhale, come up, and then bring your right foot forward. Okay, so again, working through stabilizing the hips. A brick is quite good, or a book, or if you don't have a brick or a book, you can always use a cushion. So if we work with a cushion, because a lot of people won't have any yoga props unless you do yoga a lot, like I do. Fold the cushion and then just put them in between your thighs. Good. And then we're just squeezing the cushion. So as you can see, the legs are still nice and neutral and the hips are nice and square and the toes and the heels, well, the toes are pointing forward, the heels are pointing back. So here we want to come into our chair pose. So again, here we want to bring the sit bones back and the weight towards our heels, the tailbone slightly tucked and the arms come forward. Good. Squeeze the glutes together, draw the arms forward, weight towards your heels, and then just stay here for 2 breaths. Good. One more breath here. Good. And inhale, come up. Arms wide. Exhale, arms forward, sit back. Good. Inhale, come up. Keep squeezing the cushion or the block or a brick as you transition through chair pose and standing Tadasana or Samastitihi, whatever you call the pose. Ashtanga yogis, I'm an Ashtanga yogi, we call standing Samastitihi, and all other yoga traditions call standing Tadasana or mountain pose. So it just depends what lineage you follow. But they all mean the same thing. Good. So again, keep remembering as you sit nice and low in chair pose, you squeeze the glutes. Thighs are squeezed together. There's no pain in your knee joints, there's no pain in the hips. And the breath is working with you and not against you. So if you start to find the breath is running away from you, slow down, stop. Take a moment, take a breath, pause the video, do whatever you need to do. Good. 2 more breaths here. Good. And then come back into standing, take the block or brick out, and then just give your legs a nice good shake out. Good. Good. And then swing. So you want to come down to a seated pose now. So again, however this works for you. So we can keep within our range of motion with our hips being nice and neutral, bending into the legs, bringing the hands forward, and then hands down, and then dropping one knee at a time. So if this works for you, come down this way, or use any way that feels right for you to come onto a kneeling pose. So we'll start with Bhadrasana. So here we want our knees together, and then we want to bring our shins and our feet over towards the right hand side, and then we might want a blanket underneath the right hip. Good, as we come to seating. Sorry, underneath the left hip. Good, so from here, both legs are together, feet are together, and like the top of your left toes will slightly tuck in towards your right hip. Good, so hands towards your right hip, left hand down. As we inhale, we just draw the right arm up, then we lean towards the left hand side. Good, inhale, open up, and exhale, come forward. Good, nice circular motion. So just 3 breaths here, 3 circular motions here. Keep lifting up, out through the chest. Try not to drop in towards your right shoulder. Good, exhale, hands down. So walk your hands forward. Again, knees and thighs together, rotate towards the left-hand side. Move the blanket over towards your right hip, and then sit down onto the blanket. So again here, the right toes will come to the inside of your left foot. Good, so right hand down, left hand onto your left hip. Inhale, furlough the torso up, and then exhale, open up. So again, any motion, any way your hands and your body wants to move, just feel free to move in that direction. Good, one more breath. Good, inhale, come back to center. Good, and exhale. So here what we want is we want to sit back on towards the right sit bone, well both sit bones even. We want to fold the right shin, so the back of the foot is grounded, both of your sit bones are grounded, and the left foot comes to the inside of your right thigh. So the left knee is bent, and the both knees are bent. It's pretty hard trying to explain this pose. So right thigh comes up, and left thigh is slightly rotated. So again, if you want to place a cushion to lift the sit bones up, do so. But here we want to bring our thumb to the inside of our right thigh and the left hand outside our left thigh. Good, so as we lift up, so we're going to lift up out through the right pelvis, we want to squeeze the right glute as much as we can and draw the torso forward towards the left hand side. So we breathe in, we squeeze, we come forward, and then exhale, we sit back down. So the left hip remains grounded, and all we're doing is we're lifting the right hip off the floor, squeezing the glutes, and exhale, releasing. So this is really good for pelvis stability and strengthening through the pelvis. Good. So you want to do 4 breaths and movements with our hands onto our hips. And then as we exhale again, bring some arm movements into it. Exhale, come forward, inhale, move back. Again, constantly being aware we're squeezing the right hips as we go through our movements. Again, focus on the breath. Good. Exhale, release. Bring the hands forward so you can come onto your knees. So try and bring your hips close together. Then as we exhale, we sit over towards the right hand side. So the left thigh moves away from the calf as the top of the foot is grounded. The right foot is flexed and it's inside your left hip. Good. So sit nice and tall. Place the thumb on the inside of your left hip. The right hand comes outside the right foot, the right knee even. And then exhale, squeeze the glutes as we bring the torso over towards the right. And then inhale, relax back down. So again, 4 movements this way, and then bring our arms into it. Exhale. And again, it varies, depends how much your bum wants to move, or how much space even you have to move. Just whatever works for you. So again, just remain fluid through the whole practice. We're inviting fluidity in, groundedness in, calmness in. We don't want any rigidity within our body or our practice. Not when we're carrying this amazing miracle within ourselves. Good. Exhale. Hands back forward. So again, come onto all fours. And then this time just move the legs over towards one side. And then keep the legs together as you make your way into a seated pose. Good. Dandasana. So now is probably a good time to have a strap or even a blanket or a bolster. So if you find that you're really tilting back, so you're you're rounding into your back a lot and your shoulders come up, it means you need more elevation through your pelvis. So as soon as you sit onto a block or blanket, you find there's more space for the pelvis to tilt forward, and that gives you more space to lift up, out through the pelvis, and the spine remains nice and long. So it just depends what feels comfortable. So see how it feels within your body, how it feels comfortable. And again, with pelvic girdle pain, we don't want any open leg poses because this will probably put too much pressure and it will start to cause impingement or pain. We want to try and keep everything nice and neutral. Good, so just moving the flesh from the sit bones, try and remain grounded and trying to keep our legs in a nice neutral position. And again, making sure baby is not compromised or squished. So this should be a nice seated pose for you. Keeping the feet flexed, the toes point up towards the sky and the palms pressing down in towards the ground. So Dandasana, this may look like a really easy pose, but believe me, it's not. Because there's a lot going on here. So we're pressing the heels down, not locking into the joints again. We're pressing the heels down, we're engaging through the thighs. We're lifting up and out through the pelvis. The chest lifts, but there's no arch. We're really being mindful of drawing the navel in, the tailbone descends down, the shoulders are soft, and pressing into the earth with the palms to lift the heart space higher. Good. And just staying here for a few breaths. Chin slightly tucked in, crown of the head points up towards the sky. And just taking a moment here to breathe. So always focus back to the breath. How is the breath going? And the ultimate goal with the breath is to have a longer exhalation and a shorter inhalation. Or a longer exhalation to the inhalation. Don't shorten the in-breath. It'll just make you hyperventilate. And again, that just gives us a reset through the body, grounds us, resets the nervous system. Good, taking hold of the straps. So this is another good pose to just release the shoulder blades, especially when you're carrying baby or you're carrying anything heavy and you feel the shoulder blades tighten. So we want a short grip on our straps. So we're keeping the elbows nice and bent, navel in. And then as we exhale, we're just rotating through the shoulders. Good, so circular motions. Go back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and as you exhale, come forward. Good. So do this nice and slowly, like really slowly. If it hurts, go a little bit wider. It just depends how much movement you have in your shoulder blades. And believe me, if you do this practice every day with the straps or a belt, whatever you're using, socks, tights, leggings, you'll discover within a few weeks, or days even, not even weeks, that your shoulders already feel a lot more open. Good. Right, so come back to neutral, so elbows are bent, and then as you exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together and drop the strap towards the lower back. Good, navel in, inhale, lift up, straighten through the arms, and then exhale, lower down. So again, the head is nice and neutral, there's no strain in the neck. Breathing in, so soft and steady through the movements. Good, exhale, come forward. Right, this is the fun part now. So you want to go wider. And again, it depends how much space you have in the shoulders, how open the upper body is. So as we breathe in, we draw the straps up. So again, here, the thumbs are on top of the straps. So I'm not gripping with the thumbs down and the fingers on top. The thumbs remain on top, okay? So that stops the external rotation. So you really want everything to remain open. The fingertips are gripping down nicely. The arms are straight. The arms are always straight. Do not bend the arms. If you find that you're bending the arms, go wider. Just keep going wider or don't go as far back. Good. So as you inhale, you come up. The shoulders are nice and neutral. And as you exhale, sorry, I've got a radiator in my way. As you exhale, the arms come all the way back and down. Good, breathing in, come all the way up, and exhale down. So do this about 3 or 4 times through the rotations. Keep the arms nice and straight, keep the chest lifted, the shoulder blades are soft, the neck is relaxed, there's no tension anywhere. There's no tension in your shoulders, you're just working through your rotation. And then you realise, oh, after 3 rounds, it feels quite fluid. Let's see if we can bring our hands closer together. And then you start to slowly nudge your hands closer and closer together. And eventually you move from a belt onto a broom handle. And then that really opens your shoulders because there's no way of rotating the wrist in towards the strap. It's pretty hardcore, but it's really good. It really opens up the shoulders. Good, one more rotation. So again, sit nice and tall. Keep the integrity through the spine throughout your practice. Good, exhale, release, and give the hands a good shake out. So it's probably a good time to come back into Garudasana, eagle pose. So right elbow on top of left, either backs of the hands together or the palms, fingertips up and elbows away from you. So really feeling the broadness in the upper back. Good, good. Shake out and then opposite side. Good. Another good shoulder stretch, if I show you, is keep your arms forward. Both arms nice and wide. So we want that rotating forward with the shoulders. So exhale, rotate forward, bring the hands back, and then just keep the fingertips spread as you bring your hands towards the upper back. Good. Left arm extends up, and as you exhale, we can lean over towards the right hand side or keep the arms extended. If it works for you, then you can lift the left hand, bring it back and take hold of your fingertips, and then draw the left elbow up. And again here the chest opens, the left elbow points up towards the sky, and then we're just working on releasing those shoulders. So it just depends how it feels for you, and again how open your shoulders are. So then I used to do this pose a lot when I was in the shower, because you find, number one, your joints are more fluid, and number two, the water actually helps your arms go up. But don't overstrain it, obviously. Just work within your limitations for the time being, and believe me, flexibility comes so easy if you work with it. Good, so exhale, roll forward, bring the back of the hand towards your upper back, open the palms, right arm up, and then just lean, nice little stretch. And then you can always bring your right hand behind, take hold of the fingers, and then right elbow up as you squeeze the, don't squeeze anything, you lift the chest. Good, and then exhale, come forward. So just close your eyes, just come into a sense of calmness and groundedness, because my front door's going again. And I'll be back. Hello. Sorry? Oh, the parcel's here, thank you. Okay. Don't worry, you can just leave it there. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Cheers. I am so sorry. Best yoga class ever. I just get interrupted from hundreds of parcels every day. Right, good. Okay, so nearly done. So coming back into that sense of groundedness, that sense of calmness, focus on the breath. And another good pose is to stretch out through the hamstrings and get a bit more stability through your body. If you can grab your straps, because folding forward might seem a bit too intense. So what we can do to not fold forward, because obviously we need the legs a little bit wider than usual, because usually everything is quite tight together as you fold forward, but obviously with pregnant bellies, you can't do that. So legs are nice and wide. And then just here, we're lifting the chest, the shoulder blades relax, and then just see if you can walk the hands down the strap. Good. And then just pulling the strap back towards you, lifting the chest, navel in, and just creating that nice long spine. Good. 2 more deep breaths here. Good. And exhale, release. Okay, so last pose is Setu Bandhasana, or bridge pose. So again, when you're 16-ish weeks pregnant, some people say 12, it depends. So you shouldn't lie on your back. So we're only going to transition here. I stopped laying on my back a long time ago, but we won't be here too long. So what we want to do is just lie on our backs, just for a few seconds, just to set up the pose. So heels are close towards your sit bones and your feet are hip width distance apart. Can you see me? Come forward a bit. Good. Okay. So the knees are hip width distance apart, the feet underneath your knees, the foot pointing forward and grounded. Good. So hands flat towards the earth, shoulder blades relax. So here what we want is, as we lift, we don't want an arch in the back, we want the pelvis to flow forward, the tailbone tucks under as we lift up through the thighs. So one way to know that you're doing it with the right movement, or I don't like using that word, the right movement, like moving with intention and integrity in your body, is as your back is flat towards the earth, tuck that tailbone, and if you can feel your lower back pressed in towards the earth, perfect. That's where you want. That's what you want, and that's how you want to lift and come forward. So lower back descends down, shoulders are nice and relaxed. You can even have your palms facing up. And as you inhale, the thighs are engaged, and we just lift the hips off the floor. Good, the shoulder blades are soft, so you should feel this in the front thighs. Press down through the feet and continue tucking that tailbone as you draw your navel in. Good, exhale, roll back down. So as you roll down, the back is still pressed in towards the earth, so you're remaining tucked with your tailbone. Good, inhale and come up. So again, this really strengthens through the pelvis, and exhale, come down. Good, keep that tuck in the tailbone. See how high you can go. Exhale down. I'm just going to do one more. Inhale, tailbone tucks. Good, hold it up. So again, don't let the knees splay out, really draw the thighs in. So again, imagine you're holding onto a block or a brick with your thighs. Everything is nice and strong and rooted. Good, exhale. And then just leaning over towards the left-hand side, really, as we come up. So you don't have to come up, we're going to stay on the left side now anyway for our relaxation. But with the bridge poses, it depends how it feels in your practice and how far along you are in your pregnancy. It's a very good pose to open up through the heart, strengthen the pelvic floor. You can either do your pelvic floor exercises. I haven't added it on, but I can always do another class with pelvic floor exercises where you pull up through the urethra as if you're holding your wee, and it really strengthens the pelvic floor. I think they call them Kegel exercises. So work with them in your own time. I'm really sorry if I've gone over time, or I don't know how long this is, and apologies for the knocks on the doors. Okay, so that's the reality in the Gold Ring household. Right, so relaxation now. So I will set you up in your relaxation, and then I will come up to a seated position and just guide you through. Or you can just sit with me through the relaxation process. It depends entirely on how it feels for you. So left-hand side, we would like to remain on our left-hand side through pregnancy. We're just not squishing onto any of our major blood vessels, and we're just providing as much oxygen as we can for the baby. Okay, so with your pelvic girdle pain, you just need to play it by ear how it feels with you. So again, we want the hips neutral, and if you want to bring your legs up, then make sure that everything is in line with each other. So both your legs should technically mirror each other. Now, some people like to put a pillow in between their thighs, So whatever you do to the top, you should do to the bottom as well. So if you've got a pillow in your thigh underneath your knee, make sure the ankles are also protected, and that keeps everything in the same space, and the it's in the same, you know what I'm trying to say. It's one leg is the bottom feet are not lowering down, everything is nice and neutral. There we go. Found the word, kind of. Good. So relax with your left arm out, your hand underneath your head, whatever works for you, whatever feels comfortable, and then you can just stay here with your eyes closed. Another good way to lie on your side, maybe not for pelvic girdle pain, is the same with the pillows, but the pillows are down, the left leg is extended forward, and the right knee is bent. This is how I sleep almost every night. The right knee is bent, and then you can drop the left hip more and then just lie down. And the stomach is quite forward, but because your right leg and hip is elevated, it does feel a little bit more spacious. There we go. So whatever works for you. So you can lie down for your relaxation, or you can sit up and go through your relaxation seated. So again, with pelvic girdle pain, bring your knees together and then place a block or a blanket underneath the backs of the legs, and then just stay here. So we can have our palms facing down. You can have a Yana Mudra where your thumb and finger connect, the palms facing up. It just connects consciousness and grounding together. It just makes you more aware of what's going on. Or you can sit in Virasana. This is another good pose, because some of these poses, if you sit for a long time, might give you a dead leg or a dead bottom. Just depends how long you've been practicing and how comfortable it feels, or how tight or loose your hamstrings are. So Virasana is another one, and that is to have the feet a little bit wider, the knees are together, and the sit bone is grounded towards the earth. But again, this can cause you, depends on the length of your quadriceps again, or you can place a block or a brick underneath, or a blanket. So again, you just have to work around and just see what feels good within your body, and just play around with different seated poses, or easy pose, which is the pose I like to sit in a lot. My hips are a little bit elevated with the legs out. Again, for pelvic girdle pain, this is too much external rotation in your hips, so it might cause more pain. But if you do find yourself seated in this pain, we never want the knees higher than the hips. We always want the hips higher than the knees. So this is too much stress, too much strain on your back, on your pelvis. Everything will start like rounding, your shoulders will start hunching. We just really want to sit up, out through the pelvis, create that straight spine. Okay, so whatever position you're in, whatever pose you're in, really close your eyes and relax. So again, we're just taking a few moments to ground ourselves, just a few moments to become present back onto the mat. So here is just a moment to forget about the practice. And just closing the eyes and just feeling the sensations within the body. Let go of any controlled breathing, so you don't need to control the breath. So however the breath wants to move, whatever rhythm it has in store for you, just allow it to breathe, allow it to feel, allow it to flow through the body. And on each exhalation, just really surrender. Surrender the whole body in towards the mat. Surrender your body to the earth. As we come into a deeper sense of relaxation. And just feeling a sense of calmness throughout the whole body, a sense of groundedness, a sense of peace. As you settle into stillness. And you can just take a moment to remind yourself of your intentions to your practice, your dedication. And again, just allowing the breath to take over. And as the mind begins to wander, which it will do because it's programmed that way, see if you can focus back to the breath. And again, just notice when the mind wanders. Notice when the thoughts start rolling in. Just acknowledge these. Don't engage in any conversation with yourself. Don't engage with the thoughts. Just be like, okay, thank you. I acknowledge you. And then focus back to the breath. So again, we're trying to remain present at all times. We're trying to remain grounded and focused. So when the mind starts wandering, the chitter-chatter starts, and it will take us away on this adventure to wherever it wants to take us. You just need to refrain from going away with your thoughts and bring the awareness back to the breath. So again, it's not something that comes very easy. It's not something that will happen overnight. It takes a lot of effort to bring the awareness back to the breath and to focus back to the present moment. But just keep at it. Little by little, you'll notice that the less thoughts wander in, or when they do wander in, you can detach yourself from the thoughts. So reminding yourself you are not what you think. You are not your thoughts. And your mind and your thoughts will try as hard as they can to take you on this bogus journey to fear, to uncertainty, to wherever it wants to take you, to grasping, to ungrasping, whatever it wants to do, you've got to try and remain grounded and present through the breath. Trust yourself, trust your body, trust your intuition, trust your gut. And your body knows what to do. So as long as you breathe into your body, you breathe into your calmness and stillness, you'll be okay. You have everything you need to birth your baby. You have everything you need to grow your baby. And your body knows what it's doing. So just trust it more. Good, and just starting to become aware back to the physical body. Becoming aware of the breath. And if you want, you can start to wiggle in towards your fingers and your toes. You can start to slightly open the eyes, just ever so slightly, close them again. Just having that little flicker of light come into the eyes and then close them again. And if you're laying down in your side position on your left hand side, a nice way to come up is just to press the earth with your right hand and then just slowly shift the weight towards your side as you come back up to seated. So we come back into a seated position, any way that works for you without pain. So knees together, sit back onto your heels. And then just bringing our hands to our heart center, Anjali Mudra. So the palms are together, the thumbs are touching the sternum, the eyes are closed. So gently bow the head down towards the hands. Closing the eyes. And just taking a moment here to honour our beautiful bodies for our practice today. Reminding ourselves of our intentions, our dedication to our practice. Reminding ourselves of our strength, our groundedness, our sense of calmness. And just knowing that we have everything we need to birth our baby. We are absolutely perfect the way we are. And everything will be perfect. And thanking you for coming onto the mat. Namaste. Thank you. And hopefully you guys can let me know what you think, if it worked, if it helped, ease any tension. Just get in touch and have a fab weekend. Bye guys.